So in the hollow, in our last tutorial, we saw how to create a simple button using PK Intel. Now, if you learn it, we have this new item button. But now we need to add our checklist. In order to do that, we first need to create a PK Intel plane, which will contain all the content of the checklist. So in order to do that, we need to define a variable, and I'm going to call it, for example, container. This container will be equal to be a flame, and this flame, I will pass it the master, and the master is the main window, which is in my case root. So I will pass it root. Now we can use this same, but first we have to put it in our window. In order to do that, we will need to use place or path or something like that. So I'm going to use path for this. So container dot path. Then here we want to just I would like to pack it at the bottom of the screen. So I'm going to pass it side and the side. I'm going to pass button, which is a TK constant, so we don't need to put it in string. So a little. Now you can use this frame as the master who has things in it. So if you stop it and rerun it, so nothing really happens since you didn't put anything inside this master. And then and you can just put it by creating anything, a button or a label, and just putting it inside this master. So for example, I am going to create a new label. So label, label, this label, I'm going to pass it the master of the container. So container. Then I'm going to pass it, for example, text, and this text will be equal to, for example, there is no, there is nothing in the, there is nothing in the text list, for example, and then we can put this label inside the container, and we need to also pack this label. So label dot pack, and I am just not going to pass it on. So now if you run it, so wait second. So it says there is a type error because this should be a variable, not the labels. There's a lot of labels. For like, so I'm going to just create a new variable for text equal to be the label. Or if you don't want to create multiple text, you can just put it in one line, similar to this, which I would prefer to do if I won't be using it anytime again. So now when you run it, like you can see that nothing in the checklist. But I don't want it to be at the end. I want it to center it. So just So I'm going to just delete this pattern page instead, and this place will be y equal 300 and the x would be 250. I think this would be a good thing. So like you can see it is in the center, but not center very good. I think this 250 should be like 150 for example, and this 300 would be like 25, 450. Like it's not the best. One second. So what you can do is use a place, and this but in this place going to pass it a lel x and a lel y to sample it, and to do that lel x will be equal to be 0.5, so 0.5, and the lel y will be equal to be also 0.5. Then I want to anchor it inside in the center, uh, center, but the center needs to be a string. So center. Now if I stop and reload it, like you can see it is just in the center, and if you go maximize it, like you can see it is still the inside it in the center. But what we want to do is check if it is really empty. So in order to do that, we will need to create a quick function checking checking this. So we will create here under this add function new def of a function. This will be exist and doesn't take any parameters, and this will use the SQLite 3 library. So we need to import it. So import SQLite 3 to use SQLite. Then we will need to start by making a connector. So con will be equal to be SQLite dot connect to connect with the database, and this database will be a string with the type of the database. So I'm going to name my database, for example, checklist.db. The most important thing is that it ends with DB. And if you notice that inside law, my dialect here, I don't have the checklist. The DB, so if it doesn't exist, it will just create it. And inside of it, it will consist of tables, and it and and we are going to check if a table called called for example items is there or not. So I'm going to just create a cursor And we need to use this cursor to execute all the things that we need in the from the data. This will be called from the connector. Then we are going to get the cursor like this. Then we need to execute a SQLite command that we will check second. So it will be cursor to call the cursor then to execute an SQL. We are going to call the execute function, passing the SQLite that we need. And if you don't know SQLite, we type it in capitalization. So you need to open your tabs a little. So I'm going to just pass it to, to select the table. We just say select and this small name plum SQLite this called master. This is to select from the checklist. I want to select well the type equals the table to check if the thing that is a table also the name. So and name equal to and passing the table name we want. And in this tutorial, I'm going to name my table items following. That tell this execute. I want to get the result. So I am going to just say let call result equal to be and call the puzzle again dot fetch one to fetch what was returned. Now we need to close the connection to make it secure, and it is just better to just hold the connection when you're done by calling the connector dot close to close the connector. After that, we will need to return it. So in order to return it, going to the say return result or less in my case. And let's say it's not none. To check if it's not none. Then here we need to add an if statement to check if this is correct. So I'm going to say if it is, and in Python we don't put brackets, we just put a semicolon. If it exists, for now I want it to pass, but else I wanted to do this. And also I would like to format a little bit here and like you can see this is it. Now, if you run it, because there's nothing in the checklist, it is just an empty check. When you close it, like you see there's this checklist.db that is added. Let's see what will happen if we add something inside the table. So, really quickly, I'm going to reveal it in color. So I'm going to open in Explorer. Let's it this way. Open it in Explorer, go inside of it. Like you can see, we have this checklist.db, and like you can see when you open it, inside the articulate level that we saw last time. Like you can see, we have this project. So really quickly, I'm going to create the table of product like that. So if I create a table called product and add, for example, a field, for example, called called item one, for example, and I need to pass it an integral, which will be a text, for example, and the part A, for example, and just set it to be okay. Like you could see, we got this item one later. Now, if after we save this, save this, it should work. I think it's Control F to save, but then close the database. So close this. Then when you go back here and relearn it, it's nothing inside the database. Think I load something now. So yeah, so because here it said items, and if I open the database or legit, it is called products. I call the table incorrectly. They'll have to be the same name. So if items, let me make sure that yeah, it's item. Now if you save it, so control the app and close the database and rerun it. Let you see nothing happens because the database exists. And now, if you go back here and open the project again in the database, you go into the item, then delete this item. So it checks if the full table is there. So if I delete this table, it will be selected and save the project. Select just control the S again now and go and relearn it. So close this, head back to the tell like you can see nothing in the checklist again and again if you go to create a new data set. So for example, items again and items. So add field one will be like text, for example. Nothing of that kind that is favored will go hidden again. We like to facilitate, which is exactly what we need. So in the next video, we will see how to create the dialogue of the function where you can add. But something I would like to do is that if I go and delete this table for now, save and close this, won't be needing it. What I like to do is create a add new here under the checklist. And really quickly, I would like, I can just say here under copy and paste this code, but this would be the hack since I wanted to insert the new, for example, this way we have also this, but we need to pass it inside the container. It's really important to keep what's in which container. And now we have this new button and also this new button and they are on the same function. So I hope you understood what did we do in this tutorial, and the code will be down in the description. And I hope you subscribe, like this video, and wait until I upload the other video. See you soon.